All right, so for the lesson or the video today, I'm going to be specifically just going over the questions that required work for the test. So every question that I go over, if I work it out on the board, that means you needed to work it out on your test in order to get credit. Some people, they just wrote in A, B, C, or D without showing work. If I don't work it out on here, you didn't need to show work. If I do work it out on here for the test, then you do need to show work. And if you have any questions, that's why maybe some of you guys might have got some parts wrong, is because you didn't show the answers. You didn't show the work to get the answers. All right, starting off in the very first one. Number one is it's just a difference of squares. When you multiply all four of those terms, your two middle terms are going to cancel out, and you're just going to get, this is not a difference of squares. So I'll go ahead and do this right here. 4x plus 1 times 4x minus 3. This is number 1. So if you multiply 4x times 4x, you get 16x squared. 4x times negative 3 is negative 12x. 1x times 4 is a positive 4x. 1 times negative 3 is a negative 3. These two middle terms combine, negative 12x, positive 4x, to give you letter choice C, which is 16x squared minus 8x minus 3. So you needed to show work for that. The second question, I wrote out some of these just to start the video off right here. You have to solve for missing sides. So from 38, you are giving your opposite and your hypotenuse. So it would be sine 38 over 1 equals your opposite over your hypotenuse. And then if you cross multiply, x times 1 equals 10 times sine 38. That's what you plug into your calculator. Now I'm going to go ahead and do number 5 before I do number 3. Because number 5 is the same thing. It's sine 33. This is opposite, and this is hypotenuse. Equals opposite over hypotenuse. So you're going to go 12 times sine 33 equals x. And that's what you plug into your calculator for. That was number 5. Okay, now going on to number 3. Number 3, you're using the inverse trig function because from angle x, this is your opposite, this is your hypotenuse. You're trying to find the angle, so it's inverse sine opposite over hypotenuse. Some people might have done tangent or cosine. Look, from this angle, this is your side that's across, so it's your opposite. This is not your adjacent. This is your adjacent leg. This is always your hypotenuse. So inverse sine 5 over 15 or 1 over 3, you get the same exact answer. This is for number 3, and that answer is D, 18 degrees. Okay, number 4, you just plug that into your calculator, cosine 23 to get a value. Number 4 is A, it's going to give you 0.921. We did number 5. Now coming over to number 6. Now number 6 was originally written out like this. It was originally written out as 5x squared minus 5 twice squared. Some people just distributed this 2 to both terms. That's incorrect. Whenever you have something squared, it means that term twice. And then when you multiply 5x squared times 5x squared, you get 25x to the 4th. 5x squared minus 5 is negative 25x squared. And then you do the same here and here. Combine the middle terms to give you an answer of C. That's for number 6. All the questions that I'm doing work on are the questions that you needed to show the work. For number 7, for example, there is no work to show. You do not need to show any work for number 7. And it's asking for cosine of b. Cosine is adjacent, which is 9 over your hypotenuse, which is 41. So 9 over 41, which is letter choice C. All right, for number 8, if you cross multiply, you're going to get AY equals XB, which eliminates A. A is not an answer because it's asking for number 8. Which one of these is true? It's not A. Which one of these is not always going to be true? If you look at letter choice C, they just took the fractions, A over B, they flipped them. B over A equals, instead of X over Y, Y over X. That's the exact same thing, because when you cross multiply, you are still going to get this for C. For D, cross multiply D. A times Y equals X times B. D works, therefore B is the only one that does not work. So B is your answer that is incorrect for number 8. Okay, for number 9, it says the two legs of a right triangle are 15 and 18. Not your hypotenuse, so you don't need to know this side. What is the area, or what is the angle of the smaller acute angle? Now remember from the very first chapter, your smallest angle is across from your smallest side. Your largest angle is across from your largest side. Your medium angle is across from your medium side. So if you set this up, this is your smallest angle because this is the smallest side. This isn't drawn to scale, but technically if you want to draw it to scale, it would probably look something like this. This is 15, this is 8, and this is your hypotenuse, and you have to find your smallest angle, which is going to be across from your smallest side. Probably, if you want to get really technical, it would look like this. Anyways, from this is adjacent, this is opposite, so it's inverse, because you're trying to find an angle. Tangent is 8 over 15. Inverse tangent 8 over 15 is going to give you the answer of D for number 9, about 28.1 degrees. Okay, for number 10, what I did for number 10, I didn't realize this until I started grading the test, and I realized, oh wait, they give you centimeters to kilometers. It requires a conversion for number 10. And I'm like, that sucks. A lot of people aren't going to realize that. We haven't really covered conversions. That's from previous math. So what I did for number 10, regardless what you put as an answer, I just gave you credit for number 10, regardless what you put as an answer. So skipping number 10 and going on to number 11. Number 11 is a word problem, so it's going to require you drawing it out. It says a slide. Here's your slide. It's diagonal. It's 4.4 meters long. Here's the ground, and you're probably going to have to find, here's your ladder to get up to the slide. You're probably going to have to find one of these two. For number 11, the distance or the angle that it makes with the ground is 33 degrees. How high is the top of the slide? Here you go. This is the same exact question as number, what was it? Number 2 and number 5. The same exact question. It's almost identical to number 5. Sine 33 equals opposite over hypotenuse. So sine 33 equals your opposite, which is x, over your hypotenuse, 4.4, cross multiply to solve for that question. That question, the answer for number 11 is going to be B. Okay, number 12. The two triangles are similar, so that means all the angles are congruent to the corresponding angles, which is not a correct answer. And corresponding sides are proportional to corresponding sides. So the only thing that would not be correct is letter choice C. If you say BC over YZ if you were just to line those up, that is not equal to AC over XY. Those are all different sides that don't correspond to the other side. Letter choice C is the one that's correct. Number 12, there's no work to show, so that's why I'm not doing it on here. It's just purely conceptual. For number 13, there is no real work to show, but I'm just going to write this out anyways. You have to find two numbers that multiply together to get 5, and those same two numbers have to add together to get 6. That is 5 and a 1. So it's x plus 5 times x plus 1. That's the answer for number 13, which is letter choice C. Okay, now for 14, you have to multiply this out. Most of you guys won't know that's a difference of squares factored. If you multiply this out, you're going to get 64c squared minus 56c plus 56c. This is number 14 minus 49. These cancel out to give you 64c squared minus 49, which is letter choice B for number 14. Okay, for number 15, tangent of angle B. Tangent is opposite over adjacent. This side right here is root 95 over this side right here is 7. Here's your answer. This isn't your hypotenuse. I'm just writing it right there. So root 95 over 7 is letter choice A for 15. Once again, the questions that I'm doing on here, you have to show the work the same way that I am. For number 16, you have to cross multiply. So I'm going to cross multiply because it's a proportion. Proportions, you cross multiply and you set them equal to each other. So first off, I'm going to go x times 15, which is 15x, equals 6 times 5 plus x, which is 30. 6 times 5 is 30. 6 times 5 is 6x. Anyways, subtract 6 from both sides to get 9x equals 30. Divide both sides by 9. And for number 16, you're going to get 30 over 9. All right, and then you can reduce this. You can reduce this by 3 and 3, so this is going to be 10 over 3. But they actually give this to you as a mixed number, which is, 3 and 1/3. They give it to you as a mixed number. That's fine. So here's your answer, because 3 times 3 is 9 plus 1 is 10 over 3. Okay, you needed to show work for that one. Absolutely you did. Okay, going on, we're doing good. Number 17. Number 17, you just combine the like terms for number 17. So the first term is 7x to the third. There's no other x to the third, so I just leave it. So that only allows us to have A or B as an answer, because C and D doesn't have just 7x to the third. Next one is negative 3x to the second. Positive 5x to the second gives us a positive 2x to the second, which is going to be letter choice A. We don't have to do anything else. Number 18. Which of the following is not enough information to solve a right triangle? Okay, so remember, for a right triangle using trig, if you don't have two sides to find the third side for the Pythagorean theorem, then you can do inverse those sides to find the angles. You have to be given at least one angle and one side. So, or you can be given two sides. So letter choice A, two sides would work. Letter choice B, one side length and one trigonomic ratio. That works, because let's say you have this side right here. Let's say they give this to you of 3, and then they say cosine of angle x is equal to 4 over 5. That means cosine is adjacent which should be 4, over hypotenuse would be 5. And then you could find this angle because you could just do inverse. That's what letter choice B means. That might be a little confusing. Go back and rewind this video to make that make sense. For letter choice C, let's say we have two angles. Let's say this is 90, this is 30, and this is 60 degrees. Can we find any of these sides? No. There's no way to find any sides, so letter choice C is the only one that will not give you, that's not enough information. All right, number 19. Number 19, I'm not going to multiply this out, but this means this. 3x plus 7 squared means this dude twice. And then you multiply this to both terms, this to both terms, and then combine the like terms. Number 19, the answer is A. All right, number 20 involves work. I'm just going to draw this out. Somebody drives 19 kilometers up a hill. So the distance that they drive, here's the car right here, beautiful car, boom, look at that car. 19 kilometers up a hill at a grade of 15 degrees. What is the horizontal distance that she covered? There you go. So from this angle of 15, this is my adjacent, this is my hypotenuse, so I'm doing cosine. 15 equals adjacent over my hypotenuse. Cross multiply. 19 times cosine 15 is your answer. This is number 20. And number 20, the answer is D. Okay, number 21. You don't even have to read the question. You just know from 47, they give you your adjacent, and you're trying to find the opposite. So from 47, tangent, this is number 21, tangent 47 equals opposite, which is x, over adjacent, which is 52. Super simple. Cross multiply. There you go. 52 times tangent 47 is going to give you B as an answer. Okay, 22. There's no work to show. 22 is, what's the cosine? Adjacent over hypotenuse. Letter choice A. 23, there's not really a lot of work because you can just plug this in your calculator. Write the cosine. Actually, you don't even need to plug anything in your calculator. Cosine of angle B is your adjacent, which is 8 over 17. Remember, so toa. Cosine is adjacent, which is your leg, over the hypotenuse, which is the side across from your 90. Anyway, from angle B, it's 8 over 17, which is letter choice C. This was 23. 24, we got two more questions, guys. 24. Use the diagram to find the sine of x. All right. You don't need to draw this one out. This one's pretty simple, but I'll just do it anyways. From this, sine is opposite, which is 24, over hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is 40. All right, so 24 over 40. This is the sine, but if you look at 24, it doesn't have that because you can reduce each one of these by 8 to give you 3 over 5, which is letter choice D for 24. Okay, and then the very last question is 25. I didn't realize this when I created this test. This is the exact same question, just different. Oh, no, nope, never mind. It's not. I thought it was the same kind of word problem as something else. There's literally the same words, but it's not. Okay, a photographer points a camera at a window. Boom, there's the window up here in the building. Here's the camera right here. At an angle of, so normally straight across, and then he tilts it up 46 degrees. The camera is 60 meters from the building. So the distance from this building right here to the camera is 60. It's not this distance. That's not the distance. That's a vertical distance. This is the actual distance when you're on the ground. And when you measure something, you don't measure it vertically. You measure it horizontally. How high above the how high above the flat platform is the window to the nearest degree? All right, so here is your going to say here's your triangle. Here's your right triangle to set up. So from 46, and I'll just work this last one out step by step all the way. 46, the adjacent side and the opposite side is what you're trying to find. So it's tangent 46 over 1 equals opposite over adjacent. Cross multiply to solve, and since I haven't used my calculator this whole time, I might as well just use it. 60 times tangent 46 is going to be 62.13. When I plug it in my calculator, once again, I just go 60 times tangent button 46, because mine displays it as I go along. Remember, if you're using your phone or a funky calculator, you have to go 60 times 46, tangent button, and then press the equal button. Anyways, you get letter choice B. This was 25.